Shibbity bop bada. I love theme songs from old sitcoms, and it always annoyed me before I realized what the whole idea was of being cut for time, that they would truncate them sometimes. You'd be ready to sing your
Yeah.
favorite part and it's missing. And it'd be so disappointing. I ride with those shows that stuck to the whole theme song throughout the run of the show. They did not budge. They were like, no, we're playing this whole song. Even The Office, man, even The Office cut down some of the song. And it was like 10 seconds.
I remember that. I've known a lot of shows that have done that. Like it's just a cut it. I mean, yeah, like you said, for dime.
Hmm.
I know One Tree Hill. Every once in a while, I got to bring it back, guys. They stopped using their theme song after season 4.
That's real disappointing,
They
especially if you have a good theme song. I
Yeah,
mean,
eventually because of the format of the show changed dramatically between seasons. So they just decided to go in a different direction. And they did
yeah.
a theme song. They just had a opening card for the show. It was the logo. That's it.
Superman and Lois did that too, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during this season, they just stopped using their theme altogether, or they played
Budget
a
cuts.
real sad version of it.
Yeah. It's the budget cuts. They can't
It's
afford it
like
anymore.
you
CW
got
is
to
being
set the
held
tone.
together by string and paper clips.
Pretty much. In spite of Zaslav's best attempts to end it, they're still holding on, somehow huddled in a broom closet at Warner
Yeah.
Brothers Studio, maybe even the Water Tower. Maybe just the Warner Brothers and the sister are running the CW. That would explain that final season of Riverdale.
Some real Looney Tune shit going on over there.
Speaking of Looney Tunes, did you watch any of that new Tiny Toon Adventures that started
No.
up?
No, I
No?
didn't.
Yeah.
Not because I had anything against it, but because there's so many shows.
There's so many shows. But I wanted to give this one a try because I used to love Tiny Toon Adventures when I was a kid, and you can never go back. I mean, you want to go back, but you can't go back because you want the characters to sound exactly how you remember. But the voice actors from over 20 years ago are going to sound noticeably different, or
Right.
they're going to have new people doing the voices. Much credit to Eric Bauza. He's a guy who was doing like voices for fun on
Hmm.
like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. And he was discovered because he would do like dub overs of different movies as different characters. So he would do like bits of Harry Potter as Daffy Duck and that sort
Yeah,
of
I've seen
thing.
people do things like that.
So he's the majority of the Looney Tunes now. He's definitely Daffy and Bugs, 100% of the
Interesting.
time. Anytime you see one of those characters, he's playing them on screen. Um, he dresses up as no, he's not doing
That's fine.
that.
He
But
dresses
yeah,
up as Bugs Bunny as a girl. We don't know why.
that must be incredibly hot. You
Yeah.
dress and not like hot as in, oh yeah, that's attractive, but hot like
Well, maybe.
temperature hot.
Everyone has a preference.
Everybody's got their
We don't
something.
judge until we
No,
do.
I mean we do. We've
We
we've
do.
definitely talked about furries before on this show.
I
Uh,
am I am very much a who am I to judge? And then I just judge horribly.
who am I to judge? Oh right, I'm me. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is judging time with Lex and Matt.
Welcome.
Judging time. Now, see, that's another show that I really enjoy that I got to make time for every week. Winning time, aka the story of how Magic Johnson is just an incredible dick. Um,
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that that's back. I need to watch that.
yeah, this season's really good too. It's really good.
It's hard when I like because there's some shows that I watch, so it's like, when am I gonna get around to it? You know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I'm
There
not
are
a big
certain
fan of
shows.
watching stuff on my phone unless
Oh
it's like a
yeah,
YouTube situation.
yeah. I can't deal with that either. I was gonna say there's certain shows that I'll wait until like D is occupied doing something else that I'll
Yeah.
I'll save for then. And there's certain shows that I know she wants to watch together that we just don't have time to get through all of them. So there's always
Yep.
something on the back burner for us to watch. So it's been that way seemingly since the beginning of the pandemic. We made a watch schedule
Hmm.
for stuff we want to watch together. and it never exhausts. There's always something.
Yep. Same same here for sure. We're rewatching. We actually just started rewatching Midnight Mass, kind of getting into spooky season
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
We're gonna
the
do Twin
spooky se-
Peaks soon. And yeah,
the spooky season is upon us. Yes, it is.
yeah, we're bringing it early. We have to. We have to will it. Thank God the temperature finally dropped here.
Man, yeah, it's been nice these past couple days here too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were cracking the 90s, and now it's like 60s, 70s, which is my sweet spot. I love this weather. It's hoodie time. I can
Mm-hmm.
start wearing my hats again. I get real chill. I'm irritable 90% of the time. And this weather, it just makes me such a nicer person. So, you know, shout out to global
Yeah,
warming for, finally letting this
I'm.
happen.
I'm very irritable in the heat, so this summer has been tough. So yeah, it's finally not 107 or 111 here. Um, Today it was like 78, which was incredible. Like huge difference. Next week it's going to be in the 90s again, but I'm enjoying the rain and the relief right now.
Very nice. What floor do you live on? You know, adding fuel to the fire for the stalkers that are looking for you.
Second,
Second, okay. Is that the top floor?
no.
Good. Because yeah, our second floor is the top floor of the building. So when it gets
Mm.
hot, we feel that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's no cooling off up here. It's just hot all the time
No,
when it's
the
hot outside.
hallways are not well regulated, but the apartments itself are good. Like we have a good system, I guess. So
Well, that's good. And
yeah.
sometimes it's the opposite for me. So I'll go out in the hallway and it's cool in there, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not fair. It doesn't get this chill in my apartment or this warm,
Do you have
depending on the
central?
necessity. Yeah,
Damn.
I know.
They,
It's an older HVAC though,
oh
and
yeah.
we are absolutely boring the pants off of people right now. I want to talk to you
Yeah.
about a couple of things. I want to talk to you first about Mortal Kombat. I don't know if you're into that game or not. I feel like I've asked you this recently though.
Yeah, I think we talked about this in the Discord.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked it to a degree when I was a kid. I thought the character designs were really cool.
Yeah.
I always loved Sub-Zero.
So they're doing
Um
this funny thing. They're doing this interesting thing with Mortal Kombat now because ever since the ninth iteration of it, they've refocused their focus to make the storyline better. Basically, as you can tell, I'm tired. So the story actually got to a point where it reached its natural end for Mortal Kombat, and everybody was kind of like, "What are they going to do next?" So they decided to reboot it, and this is just a minor spoiler, right? So
okay.
because most people don't finish fighting game storylines anyway.
No, you just pick up, play it for a bit, put it back down.
Exactly. My guy's in here. I want to be this guy. We're going to fight about it, whatever the case may be. So at the end of the last game, Liu Kang became the god, basically,
Mhm.
of Earthrealm. It
Okay.
used to be Raiden. And since Liu Kang took over, he reset the timeline
Okay.
because by that point, Mortal Kombat, everybody's got finishing moves. Everyone's killing each other. Guess what happened? Most of his friends were dead. So he decided to reset the timeline
Okay.
with him as the benevolent god and Raiden as the commoner who suddenly discovers he has abilities. So this is going to be an interesting twist on the game. But from the DLC point of view, I'm excited because the characters that have been announced so far include Omni-Man from Invincible,
Oh shit.
um, Peacemaker from Peacemaker and
Okay.
Suicide Squad, and what is the guy's name from the boys? The main the main
Homelander.
superhero, Homelander, is
Homelander.
also in the
Yeah.
game. Yeah. So you have these three just homicidal maniacs ready to duke it out and shoot at one another with laser beams and bullets, whatever the case may be. It's going to be crazy. But what I just saw now that made me want to talk to you about it is it's funny. Um, one of the characters, Shang Tsung, is a shapeshifter. Uh, he he has a finishing move that they added this time around, and it's basically just like a complete motion capture of the 5-point palm death punch from Kill Bill.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, except that, you know, of course, it's much more gory when the heart explodes. But even the point where, like, you know, the camera focuses on Uma Thurman where she's about to do the last hit and she hesitates a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, it even does that. I was so impressed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
can't wait to play this game. The focus and
When is it? When does it come out?
tomorrow, actually.
Oh, fun.
Hopefully, it gets delivered. I'm excited. And they have Jean Claude Van Damme as a bonus character too. I completely forgot about that, reprising his role as Johnny Cage.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Quentin Tarantino, Uma Thurman, Kill Bill, everyone. Subscribe to my other podcast, written and directed by.
It was a natural setup. It was
Yep.
perfect. You had to take it.
Someone is going to be on an episode at the end of this month.
Someone is.
Someone's going to guest star on it. So next month, the month of October, is going to be Kill Bill month. You guys know you want to watch along.
Yeah. I mean, there's never a bad time to rewatch Kill Bill. If it's on TNT, it's getting watched, even with its truncated, you know, gore and everything, and the black and white oddness that they splice in there. But it's still good. It's still enjoyable.
Yeah. Anywho, moving on.
Oh, this is actually a good transition for this too.
Yep.
I put there's a lot of old news on our notes because we did we skip last week? We skipped last week, right?
Yeah, we skipped last week. There was sickness from allergies.
Things were happening.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Caleb wants it too right now, so am I. So yeah, allergies
on a certain
right now.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's going around. But on that certain episode of Written and Directed By, we all decided to say some very glowing things about somebody who you know is near and dear to me, one Drew Barrymore. And funny enough, she popped up in the news, and not for a great reason.
I don't understand this. I really don't. So people probably know by now that they've reworked her talk show so that it can restart and they can they're basically crossing the picket line because it is a WGA show.
Yes.
So I don't understand it on a lot of levels. One, why are they doing it again?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why they can't just not cross that line. Two, I don't understand why you think it's a good idea to reformat your show in favor of working when you're going to essentially be scabbing and the WGA is going to hate you. And this has never been a thing that I've never gotten this vibe from Drew Barrymore. Also, is she not crossing the SAG picket line too by doing this?
Right. Now, I think she's at a point in her career where she's basically retired from acting.
Right.
I imagine that if something good enough came along, she more than likely would get back into it. But I mean, this seems comfortable to her to be able to just drive from her home every day, go to work, go back home on a daily basis. That's fine. It's understandable. Nothing wrong with that. What is wrong here? You know, of course, when this happened, when I heard about this news, immediately what came to mind was during the last writer's strike, when shows like The Daily Show found a way to come back on the air under the guise of A Daily Show, you know, because it didn't have writers. It was basically just Jon Stewart, you know, with this content on a daily basis. And, you know, in a way you understand because it's pseudo reporting the news. And in a lot of ways, it was understood that this is the only way that some people do pay attention to the news. So it felt a little bit more understandable. Some of the late night shows, they followed suit. They came back without writers. It was just a host doing their thing, talking to celebrities because there was no SAG strike going on at the time as well. It was above board. There were loopholes that they utilized. However, since that last strike, those loopholes that these late night shows and other talk shows used have been closed. They have assessed that. They didn't want this to happen again, where they were able to come back on the air and basically, you know, toe the line. and they close those loopholes. So what she's doing, or what her team is doing, is definitely scamming.
Yeah, and I actually was Googling it to see if there are any updates on this. I did see an update. Apparently, she was going to host the upcoming National Book Awards ceremony, which is basically like it says here, like the Academy Awards in the publishing world. That was
Yes,
scheduled for November, and they rescinded the offer for her to host.
understandably so. I'm surprised at this point because this has been a few days now, right? We've heard these stories coming out where there was an anecdote that happened where a couple came to see the filming of her show because she was
Yeah.
starting it back up. They were visiting Hollywood. They came to the show. As they went into the studio, of course, the picketers were there, including the writers from her show, and they were handed a couple of pins to stick on their lapel, their shirt, whatever. That said that they supported the
Yeah.
WGA. Apparently, the security roughed them up
Mm.
to a degree and told them, we don't want you in here if you're going to be like spouting that nonsense. And they were promptly kicked out. Now, this couple claims they didn't know anything about the strikes. I think they were kind of playing aloof with the whole thing. But as soon as they got kicked out of the studio audience, they went outside and they spoke to some of the WGA members that were outside picketing, grabbed a t-shirt and grabbed a sign and started picketing themselves alongside them.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't understand this at all. I think that unless she's the only thing I can think is that the network was basically like, go back or you're done.
Yeah,
Like
I think it's a bad
literally,
contract. You know,
yeah,
it's got to
like
be
nothing else makes sense to me.
right.
Like people are saying, "Oh, she's like," I mean, I don't know. I don't, unless there's also someone kind of like network wise whispering in her ear that like, you're responsible for all these people. All these people are going to be unemployed if you don't do this. Like I
Mm,
could see the empathy taking over in that situation.
sure.
Um, you know, the many outweigh the few, which I read that there were like at least three writers employed for her.
Uh huh.
So, not a giant writing staff. Not that that diminishes anything, of course. Like, it's still a writing staff and she should not cross the picket line. But, if she's looking at, 100 people who are employed for her and then, versus three, like, I don't know. I think I could see that being a thing. Or, she's looking at losing this job that she loves dearly. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I mean, everyone who's on strike is looking at that. So it's not a defense of her. It's just the only explanation I can think of
And
that
that's
makes
fair.
sense.
I mean, that's understandable. We want to make this make sense because Drew Barrymore, what we're hearing coming out of there, this is definitely not her brand. This isn't the
No.
empathetic woman that sits on the ground and looks up doe eyed at her guests and holds their hand as they tell sad stories about their
Yeah.
lives and that sort of thing. It's not how she projects herself on TV. We're hearing stories about security now after that incident that I just explained, searching people's bags before they even come into the taping, turning away
Which
people
they
that have
weren't
on
searching bags before. That's wild. But okay, she just
confiscating
stalker.
confiscating buttons and stuff, personal
It's
belongings.
stupid.
Yeah, crazy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um and I don't get it. And the silence is deafening.
Hmm.
Any type of statement, any type of defense has not been forthcoming as of yet. So I'm interested in hearing what they have to say. Some allowances have been made for independent films and certain projects and stuff like that. People want to bring up A24. A24 is not a distributor. A24 is a studio. They're still an independent film studio, even though they've had so much success lately. Uh, you know, so it's on a case by case basis. And that studio made a deal with SAG, with WGA, to actually honor the requests that they've been making. Any studio can do that, but A24 chose to do that proactively. So that's
um
fine. But Drew is CBS, so it makes she's
yeah.
paramount.
Apparently Bill Maher is now following suit and coming back as well without writers.
And see, that tracks for him.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it
I
does.
wouldn't have been so surprised if it was Bill Maher in the first place, but not Drew. This is very odd.
Yeah, I maybe I think too much of the situation, and I want to find a reason for it, but I don't know. I think it's stupid. I think it's career suicide, honestly. Like it's terrible because in the end, these are all, the people who are going to be writing for you if you ever do want to decide to go back to acting. They're going to be writing for your show when this eventually ends because it will end.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
think this through.
Think it through, Drew. Come on. All right, that was bad. I wanted to I want to move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk
Was
about your girl. Let's talk about Taylor Swift.
Oh, what now?
Let's talk
What'd she
about
do?
this era's tour, movie, and the
Mm-hmm.
records it's breaking. So it seems like we talk about Taylor Swift every week now. It's kind of interesting. Uh,
She's in the zeitgeist. It's kind of hard to avoid.
yeah, she just won a VMA last night.
She
Well,
won a lot.
several.
I think she won like 9.
Goodness gracious! Show of the
Mhm.
summer, video, visual effects, pop video, cinematography,
Mhm.
album, artist, song, direction. Wow, just nonstop.
Yeah.
Nonstop show of the summer. That's kind of surprising. I mean, no disrespect to Taylor, but she ain't up there performing like Beyonce is, and I don't, far be it from me to be a black gentleman from Chicago that is pitting Taylor Swift against
Mhm.
Beyonce because that's just passe. We've been there. Um, but it is interesting. Show of the summer. Okay. Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
It doesn't surprise me that she was given that award,
Mm,
like, because I do think, like, I mean, she's won up against Beyonce before. That was the notorious, Kanye incident was that. And it's not always the right call. Won a lot of awards.
yes.
What else is going on?
I feel like you had a lot more than that, but that's all right.
I don't remember.
It's okay. It's okay. Zencaster, you will pay for this. Uh, this episode brought to you by Zencaster.
No.
When you feel like spending $20 only to have the podcast drop out on you like that, Zencaster. Uh, no, congratulations to Taylor Swift. I think a lot of what it has to do with these award shows as well is who's going to show up,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much guaranteed Beyonce's not going to show up to most award shows.
Hmm.
So
She doesn't
you
need
want
to.
somebody who's going to be there and stand on stage and say what an honor it is and be thankful and stand in
Yeah,
pictures
and
with the
Taylor
astronaut.
gets wine drunk and funny, which she did last night. There's lots of stuff on Twitter about that. But yeah.
Some other notable occurrences from last night's VMAs. NSYNC got together again and stood next to one another, and everyone lost their minds.
Hmm.
Megan Thee
Rumor there's going to be a
Stallion,
tour with them, so
Man of the Woods, is coming back. Um,
not
Megan Thee
Man of the
Stallion
Woods.
ran into Justin Timberlake backstage, and she was very animated with her hands. And people thought that she was cussing him out. She was not. She was saying how badly she had wanted to meet him, and they're going to have to hang out soon. Literally, that's what happened.
Hmm.
She posted a TikTok about that later, showing them palling around and doing that sort of thing. Uh, what else did I hear secondhand? Oh, Selena Gomez um, made a wonderful face when Chris Brown was announced as
Hmm.
a nominee for something, and valid. She
Yeah,
looked like basically
apparently
she.
like she just went on her Twitter or her Instagram and was like, "I'm not going to make faces anymore. I'm tired of being a meme or whatever." And was
Uh
kind of
huh.
I was like, "But we're laughing like not at you. We're laughing with you. Like we think
Right.
that was funny and charming."
It's valid. It's valid. You know. Um, Shout out to Selena Gomez. She's killing it
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Murders in the Building as well. I think she can sing too. I haven't heard anything from her, but yeah, I hear
I've
good things.
You've definitely heard some things from her. You might just not
Have
have
I?
realized it was her.
Okay.
She's
I
had a
don't
lot of
know.
hits.
Okay.
Eh.
I mean, if you listen to that sort of stuff, sure.
You've heard the radio, Matthew.
The radio, you say? What is this antiquated device you speak of? The radio.
I don't know, but it's in the air. It's in
It's
the
all around you
trees.
right now.
It's like the Force.
Right on. So, yeah, that was a roundabout way of talking about the VMAs. The Eras Tour movie that's going to be playing in AMC theaters. Apparently, the pre-sale beat out both No Way Home and Star Wars: The Force Awakens for single-day sales records.
That's fucking
So,
wild.
I know.
Like, I know she's massive, like, and that everyone wants to go on this tour and everyone's upset, but like, and I'm one of those people, but like, that's insane.
It's like a rubber band effect too. You know, when we were on lockdown for so long, people really got time to consider what they missed most about getting out in the world. One
Mm-hmm.
of those things was going to the movies. Another one was concerts. You can do both at the same time. Why not? Have a blast. Have fun. You know, we saw some big movies coming out this year. People are really getting back in those theaters for better or worse. The Riot Fest is about to happen in Chicago this weekend, and everyone's so jazzed about that. Yeah. So you know, the world is hungry to get back out there and mix it up, especially with announcements that COVID rates are going back up.
I
People
was gonna
want to
say,
get in
in
that
time
fun.
for the new wave.
They want to get in that fun while they still can.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah. So be
I
careful out there,
know.
folks.
How many people do you know that have COVID or have had COVID in the past couple of weeks?
No
My
one is
number's at
really,
3.
really 3 people, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard about anybody in my friend group that's gotten it. So I don't know. Hopefully that trend continues, but
Yeah.
you know, I just want everybody to be healthy. I want everybody to be able to see their families and friends and everything like that. A buddy of mine and his wife, well, she's my buddy too. They had a baby, and I'm so happy for them. And I would eventually like to meet this child. I, you
Is
know,
the baby with the people that I think that it is?
is it Aaron and Liz Amendola?
Yeah.
Congratulations to them. Yeah,
Oh, they
they
had a
just had a
baby.
baby.
The baby. Why did I
The
say?
baby. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's so cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad. I haven't
Yeah.
seen anything, so that's the only way I know. It's like social media.
Yeah, yeah. I saw a picture. Baby's adorable. You know,
Aw.
I'm not even doing that thing where I'm being nice. And it's like, oh yeah, it's a weird looking baby, but most babies are. No, it's a cute baby.
They
So
seem
congrats to them.
so excited. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations to them.
indeed.
But yeah,
That's
I
right.
didn't
I
want to
will.
drop names because I didn't know how private that was going to be.
Oh no, no. When it's good news, I share your entire legal name on the podcast to congratulate you. That's right. So there's no mistake. People who wrong me though, and you know who you are, I will allude to you. You will be scared.
Oh Lord. Can you tell we're recording a little bit later tonight, everyone?
We are. We
And
are.
we're
We
a little
are.
bit loopy because of it.
Say, for example, if I was to allude to someone who I thought was cool with me, who didn't invite me to their surprise birthday party for their spouse. Oh, I'm not going to say your name, but we're going to move on. I Am Legend
I
2 is happening.
Okay, I'm gonna need more info about that later off mic. But anyway, continue.
I
I
Am
Am
Legend
Legend
2.
2, apparently, we're
Yes.
talking about this.
Yes. So, you know, of course,
The first one wasn't bad enough. They have to make another one.
not only was the first one, not only did the first one not set the world on fire, but the alternate ending was better received than the original, than the theatrically released ending of the film.
What was the alternate ending?
So the alternate ending was basically at the original ending had Will Smith sacrifice himself in order to destroy the zombie vampires that
Mm-hmm.
he kind of helped create. In the alternate ending, he got away
Mm-hmm.
because he had just found a cure for this disease, and he went to find a human encampment somewhere off in the distance after losing everyone he cared about and
Mm,
everyone who was near and dear to him. I
okay.
think the dog survived in the alternate ending too, so people
Oh,
were glad
yeah.
about that. Yeah, so they're going with that version, and Will Smith will be joined by a dog and Michael B. Jordan in the sequel. So that's in the works, allegedly. You still got to take everything with a grain of salt because technically these conversations and deals aren't supposed to be happening right now. So you
Right.
never know.
Right.
You never know.
I feel like that
Another,
this has been a rumor for a while, but yeah, I didn't like the original I Am Legend because I think it's a piss poor adaptation of a, an amazing, amazing story. Like, go, I'd recommend everyone read the source material for that, like, rather than watching the movie. But
mm,
maybe the sequel will be better.
I think so. I hope so. It's also interesting to note that in the first movie, they teased a Superman Batman crossover film that hadn't even been planned yet. And in between the first movie and the second one, we will have seen that Superman Batman crossover, the rise and fall of the entire DCU, and then the sequel to I Am Legend, which is kind of weird when you think about it.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's happening allegedly. Another rumor going around is that there's a new Pirates of the Caribbean in the works. This time from creator Craig Mazin. Who is Craig Mazin, you may ask? Craig Mazin is the really douchey guy from that one show that comes on Apple Plus. Also, he's the showrunner for The Last of Us, based on the hit video game. That's right.
Oh, cool. I
Yeah.
wasn't this already going to be a thing? I thought Margot Robbie was supposed to be like leading new Pirates of the Caribbean film.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought so. Let me Google it. Hold on. Margot
It's
Robbie.
so funny when I first saw Craig Mazin pop up as the showrunner for The Last of Us. I'm like the weird douchey guy from Mythic Quest, the tester who was kind of cringy. Apparently, he's got more than one skill under his belt. I mean, he played the hell out of that character. I mean, it was believable.
Hmm.
I kind of hated him. The first couple episodes of Last of Us, I'm like, I don't want to hear this guy talk about how he made this episode, what went into it. I don't care about him, but I came
Okay,
around.
so the last big update for Pirates of the Caribbean 6 was that it was supposed to be Margot Robbie.
Mm.
Um and like I think it was like last year, like December of last year. It was like, oh, it's not dead yet. So
Yeah.
now with the success of Barbie,
Oh yeah.
that if they already have a contract, which I don't know, they might be like, okay, you can write this movie, but make her the lead. Which I think they'd be stupid not to. If she wants to do it, like she sells tickets. Go.
That's true. That is true. Make it happen.
But yeah, that'd be interesting. Obviously, The Last of Us is a great adaptation, so I'd be curious to see where that goes. I hope they just kind of do a fresh start, not a full reboot, but I don't want to see Johnny Depp again.
No, I'm so burnt out on even before all that stuff was coming out about Johnny Depp and
Hmm.
all that. I was so burnt out on that character. I was so burnt out on people dressing up like Jack Sparrow at
Yeah,
conventions and trying to act like him. And it's like him,
it was.
Deadpool, and Harley all tied for just the most overdone cosplay. I'm glad people are fans. I am. I understand you are a fan of that character.
Uh,
Please don't feel like you have to act drunk at me. I don't need that.
yeah, yeah. I think Punisher is one that's overdone too.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah,
such an easy cosplay too.
yeah. I think that's why, and it's just people who are gun obsessed.
So let's
Anyway,
get into a little bit more strike news here.
yeah.
Warner Brothers Discovery says it's taking a $300 to $500 million hit in their 2023 earnings due to the dual strikes that are ongoing. I would also add the abomination that was the Flash movie to that as well. Um, yeah, so
And that's just Warner Brothers, right?
that's just Warner
Yeah.
Brothers. And what's
So
interesting is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no, no. Keep going. You're good.
The people striking have noted that the money that they claim they've lost due to the strikes
Mm-hmm.
would pay what they're asking for at least 3 years or
Mm-hmm.
more.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're
It's
looking
that
for sympathy with this announcement. It's doing the opposite.
it's that old thing, like that business thing where it's like, is it cheaper to bring people on and keep retraining them, rehiring them by running a shitty business where you can't retain employees? Or is it better to actually take care of your employees? Turns
Right.
out it's actually cheaper and better to just take care of people. Um,
What's more, it seems that announcements are coming out through all the the entertainment websites that overall deals with some
yes.
top talent
This
are being suspended, not terminated, but suspended. That distinction is very important, and I'll tell you why. So, Deadline broke this story September 6th, saying that Warner Brothers suspended overall deals with Greg Berlanti, who's responsible for the Flash and Arrow shows and much
mhm.
more. Bill Lawrence, of course, he of Scrubs and all kind of other
Ted
great
Lasso.
shows. Ted
Yeah.
Lasso, oh God, Ted Lasso, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the top of the list for him now.
Mhm.
And then, of course, Mindy Kaling, who is responsible for the Mindy Project,
Mhm.
and that's all I got off the top of my head for her.
Right.
Um, so why it's important the distinction of suspending? It's basically not saying that their deals are ended. It's saying that they're not going to continue to honor these deals. Basically, they're adding time on to these deals. They're still locked
Right.
into them while it's paused for the strike.
Yeah.
So it's not taking any money out of their pocket. It's not saying that they're losing an opportunity to work with Warner Brothers. It's just saying, hey, we're going to pause this deal until the strikes are over. Then it'll restart, and we'll continue working with you. That's all. But it
Which
sounds ominous.
Yeah, which seems rational when you like go through that, but it really is just, I think, another tactic to kind of put pressure to end the strike.
Absolutely.
And it didn't work. Greg Berlanti ended up donating like $500,000 right after this happened to the guild. So it's not that's not going to work.
Right. Yeah. NBC did something similar where they paused deals with The Rock and who's the guy that runs SNL?
Lauren Michaels.
Lorne Michaels, yeah, who's basically wrapping it up anyway, career wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, they basically put those on hold as well. Same thing. It's like, what can they do during this strike? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it's whatever.
For sure. I I don't know. I think differently. I mean, I know you think the same way. I just don't understand what the studios think the end game is here because they're hemorrhaging money over this. And to what end? To bust unions? You're not going to. Hollywood is a union town. Like it is very, very pro union. I don't think this ends well for them. It
No, me
hasn't in the
neither.
past either. They haven't won.
No. Oh, there's more.
Yeah.
Disney Entertainment suspends deals with producers, including Yara Shahidi, Justin Hartley, and Billy Porter. But what's different for Disney is they intend to continue to pay assistance amid the strikes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
shout out to them for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, pay everybody what they deserve, but you know, at least they're basically maintaining uh, decorum by doing that, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't realize Justin Hartley had a deal. That's interesting.
It's your boy Aquaman.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll never forget. I'll never let it go. He was our Aquaman,
He was. He's the OG Aquaman.
the OG Aquaman. Adam Sandler is going to launch a 25 city North American stand up tour called I Miss You
I'm
next
in.
month.
I'm sold.
Are you an Adam
Fucking
Sandler
buying
fan?
the tickets now.
Like,
Yeah.
legitimately, are you an Adam
Yeah.
Sandler fan?
That's not even a joke. I love him.
Because sometimes your sarcasm sounds like you mean it, and vice versa. I don't know.
No, that's fair. I'm not joking. I love him. I mean, I don't like any of his recent movies or most of
Okay.
his recent movies, but like he's made some of the best comedies. And has made some great music and shit too. Like he's just
Okay.
I think he's so fun and funny. And I love that he dresses like a dad all the time. He's always in dad mode. I appreciate that.
That's right. It was an Adam Sandler summer this year for a lot of ladies dressing
Yep.
like Adam Sandler, just chilling.
That's
What's
been
peak?
that's been my fucking outfit choices since I was a kid. So,
Yeah, I think a lot of people just realize, like, holy shit, I am Adam Sandler.
yeah.
What's peak Sandler for you? Like, what's his crowning achievement movie wise to you?
I think there are different things that you go to his movies for. Like
Okay.
if you're talking about like a romantic comedy that's also hilarious, obviously you can go to The Wedding Singer. But if you just want a straight up slapstick stupid movie that's fucking hilarious and will crack you up every time is Billy Madison. Like but that's literally just those two. You can go to Happy Gilmore, you can go to 50 First Dates. You can keep going to the well. He's so funny.
He is. I'll give you that. Um, it's kind of odd because his his
Big Daddy,
circle.
come on.
I don't know about Big Daddy. His circle of people he works with vary in quality from feast to famine. You got Rob Schneider, you
Mhm.
got Chris Rock, you got Kevin James. Yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
James. Um, yeah, I just it's you know, 50 First Dates was great. Funny
Waterboy,
people,
Matt. Eight Crazy Nights. Eight
Eight
Crazy
Crazy
Nights is an
Nights.
underrated classic.
Funny people, I think is underrated still.
Airheads.
Oh, Airheads. That you can't touch Airheads. That's
Airheads
just
is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. See, I would have at one point said that's peak Sandler, but I mean, he had a long career after that too. What can you say?
Yeah. Also, that new movie that his daughters are starring in with him looks really good. The Netflix
Oh,
one,
the You're Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah,
Bat Mitzvah. Yeah,
Bat Mitzvah. Yeah.
yeah, I think it looks good.
What was the one where he was the jewelry salesman?
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was really good.
It was. It was surprising. It was
It was
surprising for
dark. I
him.
still haven't seen that movie. The one that he made last year, the drama. I think he's been doing more dramas, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's all over the place. He's got a series of films with Jennifer Aniston now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's got an overall deal with Netflix. He's
Oh
he's the
yeah,
Netflix
he's
guy.
a lot of money from that.
Yeah, I had the same. I had a similar conversation at work a few weeks ago about Mark Wahlberg because just at face value, I'm like Mark Wahlberg cannot
What
act,
if I
and
was like, I fucking love Mark Wahlberg?
I would cancel this show. That'd be it. That'd be the end. That's it. We're done. Now you could make a case for Mark Wahlberg being a good actor. You could.
No.
He's a horrible person, but you could
Yeah.
make a case for him being a decent actor.
He's not
Uh,
though. He really
n-
is not. Like
no.
his best role is where he's playing a dumbass porn star with a big dick.
In that order.
Yeah.
What was that one he was in? Rockstar, where he was
Oh,
the.
I never saw that.
I hate to admit it. I liked that movie a lot. I thought it was funny. I thought it was good. I thought it was very entertaining. He leaned into his permanent scowl and played Max Payne at one point.
I
Um,
forgot about that. Mila Kunis was in it. Speaking of people ruining their careers, we don't
Mila
need to talk
Kunis was
about
in
that.
Max Payne.
Yeah, she was. She was what's her face? She's the lead.
Wow,
She's the
I
female
forgot
lead.
about that completely.
Yeah.
Um, Planet of the Apes. I thought he was decent in that. I don't know. It's weird.
There are worse actors.
Italian Job.
Yeah, that was good.
Ted,
Oh, The Departed.
The Departed.
Yeah, he's great in The
Yeah.
Departed.
See, that's what I'm saying. There are certain films you could make a case that he's all right,
But
but
he's
then he
just
turns
playing.
around.
But here's the thing: in The Departed, he's just playing a trashy cop. kind of thing. Like he's not it's not that big of a fucking stretch.
It's the role he was born to play.
Yeah.
Whoever his management is does a great job helping him pick roles. That's I'll give him that.
One
I'll
of my
give him that.
favorite things, have you ever seen that, like, I don't remember how many years ago it was, but he posted his schedule, his
Mm-mm.
like daily schedule. Do you remember that? He wakes up at like,
No.
okay, hold on.
All right, here we go.
Let me
Mark
pull this up.
Wahlberg's daily schedule. Let's see if we can follow along. How long does he spend praying? Because I know he's a big Jesus guy now.
Don't worry, praying's in here.
I bet it is.
He
Because
posted his quote unquote typical daily schedule.
okay.
2:30 a.m. wake up.
Mm-hmm.
2:45 a.m. prayer time.
Of course.
3:15 a.m. breakfast. 3:40 to 5:15 a.m. workout. Then he has a post-workout meal. 6 a.m. shower. 7:30 a.m. golf. He only golfs for 30 minutes, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
No. That
Another
seems like he's
snack.
just putting around his backyard.
Another snack. 8 a.m.
Okay.
9:30 a.m. he does cryo chamber recovery. Another snack.
How long does that last?
It looks like an hour.
Daily.
Yeah.
An hour
11
of cryo. Oh, okay.
11 a.m. he has family time, meetings, work calls. That goes on. That's only 2 hours. 1
So
p.m. lunch.
before 11 a.m., don't talk to him.
Yeah.
Don't be family. Don't be friends. Don't do business. He ain't hearing it. Before 11 a.m., he made time for Jesus, but he's not making time for the wife and kids. Oh, no. Not before 11.
2 p.m. more meetings, work calls. 3 p.m. pick up kids at school. 3:30 another snack. 4 p.m. 4 p.m. workout number 2. 5 p.m.
Ooh.
shower number 2. 5:30 dinner / family time. 7:30 p.m. bedtime. Here's the thing. This fucker's waking. I know he's dumb because he's waking up at 2:30 a.m. and going to bed at 7:30 p.m. He could just wake up at 6 and then go to bed at a normal time at like 11, and it would be the exact.
That throws off his whole schedule.
It would be the exact same schedule. The time would be the same. Like the amount of time he spends doing each thing would be the same.
Listen, he's got to leave time after 7 p.m. to pretend that he's going to go to sleep and then get up, hop on Twitch, and stream to his many followers on there. He's got a whole Minecraft server that he's got to take care of, Lex.
Listen, I sleep like the dead. I love sleep. I usually fall asleep quickly or before Kayla and everything. Like, I've always been like, all right, I'm going to bed now around 11. You know, that's who I am. If I don't understand going to bed at 7:30 at night. Do you not have existential dread? Do you not lie awake thinking about everything terrible you've ever done and fucked up with your life? Marky Mark. You should, if not. You really should, because you've made way more mistakes than I have, and yet you have no regrets that keep you up at night? Come on.
There's a lot of supplements and medication that are going into that too. Now, unlike you, who sleep like the dead, I sleep like a fugitive from the law. At a moment's notice, I can wake up and my heart is beating like a fucking rabbit and I am ready to go. I wake up for work and I just stand up and I walk out the fucking door. No, I don't do that. I actually do, some of the Wahlberg stuff I watch. But yeah, man, like ain't no sleep happening over here. And let me tell you, I still feel exhausted just hearing that schedule.
It sounds terrible.
It does. When does he take Mark time? The golf.
I don't know.
That's Marky Mark time.
I guess, yeah. Golfing every day, also.
Every day. Always on vacation.
I don't know, dude. I wouldn't want to golf every day. I like spending time with my partner.
Yeah.
If I had kids, I'd like to imagine I like spending time with them. I'm not saying never golf. Everyone should have hobbies. I think hobbies are healthy and fun.
I do too. I think it's important for relationships for each person involved to have their own specific hobby too.
Of course.
So that, you can come back and discuss with one another, like things that you've learned, things that you're excited about, that sort of thing. It keeps relationships fresh. That's
Of
Matt's
course. Yeah.
relationship tip for today's episode. But yeah, like I have you ever golfed? Have you ever tried
No.
to golf before?
No.
I've been to a driving range. I've played mini golf. And let me tell
Oh
you,
yeah, mini golf. Yeah, I'm terrible at mini golf.
yeah, most people are. There's nothing that appeals to me about it, and I really think that a lot of people don't like to golf, and I think they treat it as a flex that they can afford to golf.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I also it takes a lot of time, and I think some people like golfing because it's literally like it does seem to be like predominantly men doing it, and I
Yeah,
think it's like escape from responsibilities in life. That's kind of how I view it sometimes. Not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah. And I have a lot of I have a lot of hippie thoughts too about like just the fact that they're taking over all that land just to put a little white ball around. Um, and
And
basically suppressing the greenery that wants to grow there.
yeah, and they're pumping horrible chemicals into the environment to maintain that green lush bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah, environmental blight.
See, we paid attention to Captain Planet growing up. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Um, I saw Indiana Jones 5. I didn't like it. Hey,
Oh,
wait. I thought it was better than 4. I'll say that about it.
oh, that's good. Is it
100%
streaming?
less. Uh, kind of.
Enough said. Continue.
Yes, I also saw the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem film, and it continues the tradition of every iteration of the Ninja Turtles being endearing enough to forgive them for yet another reboot. It's a great,
Yeah.
great start to another iteration of Ninja Turtles. I am excited for the kids that get to experience these characters for the first time. I like all the changes that they made, well, most of them anyway. And man, Seth Rogen, he is on a roll with just producing. He's responsible for this, The Boys, Invincible,
Hmm.
Preacher. I mean, he is on a fucking roll. And yeah, this is
He's
this is another win.
so not in this case, but in the other projects you're talking about, he's very smart about seeing a thing and going, that would adapt really well.
Mm-hmm.
All of those, shows that you're describing, like those are really popular comic books that already have a fan base built in, and they would adapt well. Preacher was the only one that really wasn't as successful, right?
Yeah. But Preacher's already a hard sell
It's weird.
in the
Yeah.
first place. It's very sacrilegious.
Hmm.
It was definitely a project of its time. It's rough around the edges to say the least. And broadcasting it on basic cable, that was a choice. It was definitely meant for
Yeah,
HBO, but they did the best with what they could.
I
And
think it would have done better had it been now and on Amazon with his other shows.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But they didn't trust him at that point as a producer, so he had to earn that. And so at the very least, I think Preacher helped him, get that under his wings a little bit. But yeah, I'm a fan of what he's doing. So Ninja Turtles, check it out if you're even slightly interested in it. I
I'm
really
interested
enjoy
in
it.
it for sure. I want to watch
Yeah,
it.
the
The
music
only
is great.
thing,
You know,
yeah, the only thing I've been watching lately is Survivor still.
there's a
Random
lot to get
seasons of
through.
Survivor. Yeah. And
Yes.
I've been binging. I'm actually caught up on the series that I've been listening to. Um like this particular series within the podcast of You Must Remember This, which is like the Hollywood history podcast.
Okay.
It's really, really popular, and I'm not sure if you've ever listened to it, but it's like deep dives into a particular subject of Hollywood. A lot of it is earlier Hollywood, but this one that I'm listening to that I've listened to the 80s one because they did a series on 80s erotica films, and then now
Okay.
they're doing 90s erotica films, which is being much longer because the genre just blew up then. And it is So fascinating. It's an amazing deep dive into the films as well as the celebrity, the pop culture, everything involved with that era, and also reflecting back on certain things of like, this was even worse in retrospect because we know this now, or whatever. It's it's so good. It's so well done. I cannot recommend it enough if you love movies and movie podcasts and historical deep dive type of things.
I love all of those things. So I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, yeah, I would. And honestly, you can listen to like any episode or little series within that interests you, but like it just flows so well too. Like I listen to it while I'm working and I just go episode after episode. That's why I've burned through it so quickly because I just keep listening to it.
Hmm. Um, a lot of times people ask me what I'm listening to podcast wise, and aside from written and directed by, I also have been checking out Naked Lunch with Phil Rosenthal
Yeah.
and David Wild, where they just sit down and they have they have a meal with a celebrity or just somebody from their lives. And there was an episode that they did a few months ago with Paul Rubin, of course, well before he passed away, and it was just so endearing hearing how much of an impact Paul's career had on Phil, and how it inspired him, not only what type of entertainment he wanted to create, but also what type of person he wanted to be. And I thought that was just a sweet moment between those two men. Um, I've also been listening to Lil Rel, his show, Keeping It Rel, uh,
That's funny.
where he's been getting a lot of work lately, and the man is really in great shape now. He really is working on his image and everything, and it's always cool to see somebody just kind of like working hard to stay
Hmm.
in work his way into the limelight, basically, and working hard to make sure people think that he belongs there, which I feel like he does. But it's just him and his buddy, Young Wayne, having conversations every week. But what I love about the show is like he'll just throw in little anecdotes about his time on the Carmichael show, because him and Gerard Carmichael are still close friends.
Hmm.
He's been working with John Cena a lot because they've had that Vacation Friends movie. A couple of those have come out. He shared his thoughts about Chris Rock's last special and how he was a little disappointed in how Chris Rock decided to address the slap situation.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, it's just some good insight to Black Hollywood. And the
that's
most recent
cool.
episode, they were talking about rappers who have become actors to varying degrees of success.
Oh, that's a fun
And
genre.
yeah, yeah. So where I left it, because I'm not even done with the episode yet, but I'm excited to get back to it. They were talking about Queen Latifah and how, yeah, like there are people in this world who never knew she was a rapper because of how well she acts in any project she's in. And I'm like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
She I was one of those people that like would forget because she's so well known as an actress now.
Yeah, she's great, and she just keeps on getting better. So yeah, check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna check out this podcast you mentioned here. I think I gotta give up on Neil Brennan's podcast simply because I miss his old one where it was just him having a conversation.
Hmm.
Now he's trying to fit it into this specific mold of his
Yeah.
last stand-up special called Blocks, where he's talking about like the struggles that different people have and stuff like that. It's another conversation podcast, kind of in the same vein as a Mark Maron or something like that. And I really I miss his voice in there and not just trying to stick to that format. So, you know,
Yeah.
take it or leave it. You might find it interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth with the types of podcasts that I like to listen to. Right now I'm very much into this like serialized version ones and like everything like that. Historical ones. I've been watching also like just throwing on like a YouTube historical video or something like that while I work.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love doing that too. I've talked about how I love Defunctland. I hope they come back
Yeah.
with new episodes soon. Kevin Perjurer, who is the producer of Defunctland, sat down with Adam Conover recently. Adam Conover of Adam Ruins Everything, and many other projects. He has a podcast as well, and he got to talk to him about it. And they had a weird generational breaking point where Kevin, who was the younger man, started talking to Adam about the Wiggles, and Adam is like, "What is a Wiggle?" And he's like, wait, you don't know what a Wiggle is? He's like, come on, fruit salad, yummy, yummy. And I'm like in the same camp as Adam. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I looked it up. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just the kids, like, um, I'm really gonna date myself now. Uh, the Elephant Show,
I don't know.
the Skinnamarink Dinky Dink show with the three people.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
hmm yeah. It's kind of the same vein where they just get up and start
One
dancing.
of
and
one of the
performing for
best 30
kids.
Rock jokes is that they have the Woggles, and Jenna decides to Yoko Ono the Waddles. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, yeah. I mean, a lot of that stuff went over my head, obviously, but okay, that makes sense now.
Mhm.
All right. So, speaking of podcasts, I think that's enough for us.
Yeah. That pretty much covers it, guys. Thank you
That
so much for
covers it.
joining us yet again.
Yes, yes. We oftentimes discuss things in the Discord in a little bit more depth that we cover on the podcast. We share different links and clips and stuff like that of what we talk about just to get your feedback and kind of hear what you have to say about it. I shared a couple things in the Discord today, including the Indigestible Man clip from the Tick that we talked about last episode. Shit's as wild as I remembered it. So definitely it is worth your time to join in on the fun. Come to our Discord, have some laughs with us. Lex and what is it? Patreon.com/Lex and Matt. $1 gets you in. We'll never kick you out unless you act like a butt.
Yeah.
Come on down.
We haven't kicked anyone out yet, so maybe you'll be the lucky one. Who
We
knows?
know very few butts, and I'm happy about that. Thank you all for not being butts and joining in on the community, because you know what? We wouldn't be what we are without you. You inspire us to
Absolutely.
keep going. So, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you all.
thank you so much, everyone.
And on that note, I say it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And
I'm Lex Lutz.
I'm Matt Peters.
Be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Bye.